Okay, today beginning with the slide, some do's and don'ts. This is for a new student who's just starting out on the slide. So first things first, the slide itself. I would recommend you buy one that fits your finger. Mine doesn't. I was 11 when I bought this in the guitar shop. I just saw it and I was like, oh, that looks good. I'll buy one of those, and it doesn't fit my finger. And I think when I was that young, it probably didn't fit at all. I was probably playing it here or something, I don't know. So, in order to get around this, we use a bit of material or a piece of tissue or something like that. We wrap it around the finger above this joint, and I'll show you why. When you put the slide on and it's tight, we'll probably need a bit more material. You need the slide to be there so that the finger can still move. You don't want the slide to be all the way on so the finger doesn't move. That's incorrect. Okay, so you want it to be tight enough so it doesn't fall off. I think it's going to fall off. It's all right. So that's that. Now I recommend the fourth finger because then you can do other things with the three fingers. Some people play it on the third. I've never seen anyone play it here, but I've seen there's like a ring or something that you can buy. It's like a third of a slide that you put on. You just use that instead. It sounds kind of cool, but I've never used one. I'm in standard tuning here just to show the basics. So that's the slide itself, choosing your slide. The other thing is your guitar. It's easier to have a high action. It's a lot easier to play the slide with high action. So I recommend if you can have a dedicated slide guitar, do that. This one is for my slide, it's just cheap. And all you do to raise the action is take your nut off, take your saddle out, draw it around a piece of card, you know, the same width on either side, and width, depth, same depth on either side. Draw around it, put it underneath, put everything back on, stick your strings back on, and if the action's right for you, that's good, okay? But mine's very high because this is just for the slide, so it's impossible to fret now, because I also use very heavy strings, you know. So for instance, for better tone, I have I think the 13s at the moment, and then my first string is actually a B string. It's a 15. It's not a 13. You can probably see on the camera the difference in the tones, the colours rather. Yeah, so that's that. Get your guitar set up for the slide if you can. If you can't, it's probably good for beginners in the beginning, because then you don't get it. You've got to learn how to be minimal pressure on the strings so you don't hear the frets as you play. And I mean, that's the trick with the slide, is that we're just resting on top of the string to get the sound that we want. Okay, so anything else? I should have had my notes. I sent the email to my student, and I'm just trying to get this video done before I go out and in between the banging and the drilling of the builders outside. Okay, left hand. Okay, so what we're looking for, slide on the fourth so I can bend under that joint. I'm going to use my third finger to just sit on top of the slide, right? So that's going to apply the pressure. Look, don't even need my thumb. All right? So that's the correct amount of pressure to apply. You don't want to push too hard, because like I say, you get the frets. So we're just going to sit lightly on top of the string. Okay? See, my third finger is on top of the fourth on the slide, just resting on top. And then the next thing you want to do is use these fingers behind the slide, so that you don't get it's like you get the tones behind the slide if you don't mute behind. So your left hand position is these fingers rest on the strings lightly, like a crunch chord. The third finger rests on the slide for support, to give it the adequate pressure, and the slide under the knuckle. Okay. Now we're just going to start on the first string, and what I recommend with the right hand is that we put our thumb on the third string, index on the second, middle on the first. Now when I play my first string, those strings will be muted because this, you know, the right hand has a hold of the strings. Okay, so if we just do the major scale to start, What goes up must come down. So I was just sliding between the notes there, right? And when you land on a note, always use vibrato with the slide. That's what gives it its distinct sound. Now, I forgot one of the most important things. For the tone to be in tune, we'll need the slide to be on the fret wire. When you use your fingers, it's behind, obviously. And we don't get any difference in tone, no matter where we play it. The slide is different. Pick up all the hemi, demi, semitones. So when you want the note itself, you have to land on the fret wire. Okay? And then thus the adequate pressure, because if you push into the fret wire, you can hear the metal. Okay? So recap on the major scale. So just on the open string, we have open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. And then descend on the same notes, okay? And then if I want to move my second string, I'm just going to use the same scale. I know it's not sticking to anything, I'll just use the same frets for this one. So I'm going to switch to my index finger if I want to play the second string. Okay? I'm not going too much music theory here. I should have played the B, the fifth, so it should have been a Mixolydian mode, but we'll not worry about that. We'll just do the major scale over the 3 strings for now. So then, for instance, I'm going to go with my third string and just do the same frets. Open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Now when I want to play the fourth string, I can either move my fingers up and add my ring finger, so they're now muted, and so that is your basics, unless I've forgotten something. I've got to go out now. I'll review the email. If I've missed anything, I'll redo the video. Oh yeah, so as well, try and keep the slide parallel with the fret. Don't let it go like this, because again, if you start playing triads or something, it'll be a little bit out of tune. See, there we're in tune if I go diagonal. Unless you want to be dissonant, of course, but like I say, we choose the fourth finger because then you can play behind it. Look at guys like Sonny Landreth and these kind of guys when they play behind the slide. It's marvellous. Anything else to think about? No. So just practice. I've put the major scale in there. You can go for your scale spellings for any of your other scales you wish to try. Just try it on one string just to get used to the pressure. And slide between the notes, obviously, and lots of vibrato as you land on the note. Yeah, that's it. Give it a try.